Hey guys, Romie here. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're a first time viewer. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much. Please like and comment on this video. This is my recap, my review for Big Brother 18 episode 34. This is the live vote in Eviction. And also the HOH competition starts. Now the episode starts off with, of course, we get Julie. Hi Julie. We breeze past Julie because now the nominations were kept the same. Which means that either Paul or Big Meech will be leaving the house tonight. Now, Nicole's thinking, this is my best option. I feel like I can trust Victor and Paul more. And Nicole is correct. She can trust them more, but can she beat them at the end? No. That's the actual reality. She cannot beat them at the end. Nicole definitely has more enemies in the jury than she probably even realizes. Heck, Corey could probably beat her at this point. So, Corey's happy that things are staying the same. Of course, Victor's happy things are staying the same. Big Meech is making a huge decision to not really campaign this week at all. You think, okay, maybe 1 day, 2 days. No, she does not campaign, period. Which is huge. Why? Again, people who don't campaign, it's either one of two things. They know for a fact that they're staying in, or they're delusional and they think that they're going out. Or, actually, there's a third option. They know that they're going out, so they're not going to go and play themselves. James was reassuring her, you got the votes. It's all good. Everything's gravy. Don't worry about anything. James is also making a huge mistake. James wants that $5,000. We know James is coin operated, money operated. And because he is, James foolishly thinks that he's completely safe. You never do something like that in Big Brother, especially when it's close to the end. You never make people feel like, oh, you're just so secure that everything's all well and gravy, that you're not going to do anything to save your own game. That's one of the things you don't do, because people feel like, wait a minute, why is he going to throw a HOH competition? Why is he going to throw a veto competition? Why is he willing to do all of that? That doesn't make any sense at all. Because James is like, I'll just throw the HOH competition. I have no problem doing so. Or was it the veto? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter because Corey was looking at him like, what the hell is wrong with you? Did you come here to play Big Baby or Big Brother? Why are you flowing your way to the top? And he goes and lets Nicole know that. But then Nicole starts to freak out because now Nicole is thinking, wait a minute, why is Victor hanging out with Big Meech so much? What's going on here? Are they trying to blindside me? Is Big Meech actually saying and they're going to vote out Paulie? Like, what's really good? What's really going on? Why would James feel like he's safe? James would feel like that he's safe if he thinks that his side is going to stay secure and they're not leaving. Why would he think that his side is secure and not leaving? Is he possibly working with Victor? Do we have to go and backpedal and see who's really playing and who isn't? So, in order to go and cement the fact that they need Victor to vote for Paul, they go and give Victor the money. They go and offer Victor the $5,000, which of course Victor appreciates a lot because Victor has fought his way back into this house, but he hasn't really won prizes like that. And it's just like, realistically, is Victor going to make it to the end? Most likely not. So this $5,000 does mean a lot to him. And also, it's like, I'm going to vote to keep my friend. Well, he's thinking they think that. And they pretty much think that he would anyway. But just to make sure, they give it to him. It's just like, and you'd still give me this money anyway. And so, of course, Paul's just like, you know what? I think I actually made the right decision. I think I'm actually working with the right people this time. Then we get to the foolery. We'll actually get to some nice things occur. We see a montage of everyone's families, giving them warm wishes, and it was cute. Of course, everyone's families are nice, well-dressed, well-behaved. Why did I say well-behaved? It's just cute. Of course, it was cute to see James's family. Victor was bawling, Paul was bawling, Natalie was bawling. Everyone is pretty family-oriented, but especially those people. So, they need a moment. I'm like, Julie, that's not fair. How do you pay into them? You know they're going to cry. You know they're going to bawl. You know that they genuinely love their family like this a million bazillion %. And then we see this video of Victor's family. Victor's family, we see him growing up, and we find out that Victor is a child of Katrina. when he was, what, 10? Well, definitely at a young age, he got sent to Puerto Rico because his family's originally from Puerto Rico. But originally, they lived in New Orleans, and they were, of course, affected by Katrina, and their house was destroyed. So he got sent to Puerto Rico along with his other siblings so that they could have at least a good life and grow up in a stable environment, you know, continue to be fully ingrained in their culture. And we see that Victor is very proud of his culture, and that's always nice to see, because I feel like sometimes here in America we kind of like generalize things and also try to make it's like we're all the same, no one's unique. That's how I almost feel like it is in the hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. That was my neighbor. Now, again with Victor, again, it's nice to see, of course, him, and why it's very clear and evident that he's very ingrained in his culture. It's just a beautiful thing to see. Now, it's time. It is time for the live vote in Eviction. And Paul, you know, he gives a nice, cute general speech. Paul knows that he's staying in the house, so his speech was pretty, it was pretty cool. Of course, he shouted out his parents, his family, I should say. And it's just like, Big Meech, you're cool. It is what it is. Why don't we go and give you a better smooch compared to the original P, as in Paulie. And Big Meech is like, wow, that was so much better than the first Paul. Now, Big Meech, she does her usual big speeches because she's just like, you know what? Screw this. At this point, she doesn't really care. Again, she's a fan, so she wants people to be entertained, and that's why I love and appreciate her so much. And she, like I said, she looked really good this week. But I know it's a distraction. Now, she called out Nicole again. It was just like, I know that at the end of the day, you're going to do whatever you want to do. Paul, he's whatever. It's really the two of you that I'm not really vibing with. I'm on the block with him, so I can't be too mad at him, and he gave me a good smooch. But don't vote for you. Don't vote for Paul. Don't vote for Victor. You could go all the way, Nicole, but you're so dumb. You're willing to take these two people who can beat you at the end versus someone like me who can't win a competition, or you'd have a great chance at beating. So what does that say about you as a game player? She was not wrong. She was not wrong. And how it turns out is it becomes a tie. Of course, James and Natalie vote for Paul to get evicted. And Corey and Victor vote to have Big Meech evicted. What ends up happening is Nicole breaks the tie by voting out Big Meech. We already saw that coming. And while she was leaving, Big Meech was still going after them. It's just like, Victor, I like you, but at the end of the day, you're not going to win. They're not going to keep you to the end. It would be stupid of them to keep you in the end. Nicole, you'd be dumb to keep him to the end. Or Paul, because people actually like them. So now it's time for her to go and talk to Julie. And Julie's just like, okay. That was one of the most interesting evictions I've ever seen. And it was just like, you're a fan of the show. And what happened? Well, I know I called out a bunch of people, blew up a bunch of people's games. At the end of the day, I have no regrets because I did what I wanted to do. I did what I set out to do. I came to play Big Brother. There was no point in just coasting. I wanted to make a big move. I succeeded. And I know I ruffled some feathers. And she was just like, I think she also called Nicole the most boring in this HOH in Big Brother history, because she never talked to other people. That's not true. She did talk to other people. She just didn't talk to you. She didn't do the usual going to both sides to at least talk and see what's going on. That part is absolutely true. She did stay upstairs in her room most of the time. That part's absolutely true. But she just wasn't talking to you, Big Meech, and you didn't know that. And I did feel bad, because you could tell Michelle just loved being there. And Michelle was even like, you know, you're so lucky, because I've been trying to get tickets for years. And I finally, and I never got them. It's just like, Michelle, you realize you're actually playing a Big Brother. It's just like, yeah, I know it's true, but it's so sad. Damn, I almost felt that. Shout out to me. Anyway, now it's time for the egg competition. You remember the egg competition. That's where you're inside this enclosure, this wired enclosure, and you have to maneuver the egg into maneuver the egg all the way to the tippity top. Is it to the top? I'm trying to think. Is it? No, you have to maneuver it out into a hole. And so the person who does the who finishes first wins. You know, the typical egg competition. There really wasn't much to it. They did have fake falcons coming down and swooping on them when they were at the top of the cage. But again, we'll see who wins. I actually know who wins already, but I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back Monday morning, because that's when I'll have the video up. Or Sunday at midnight, whichever one works better for you guys.